In the prehistory of Earth, Elric VIII, 428th Emperor of Melniboné, is a doomed albino anti-hero and facet of the Eternal Champion. But every hero has an origin story. This is his. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I am your host, Liam, aka Himvar. Today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review for the August buddy read, Michael Moorcock's Elric of Melniboné. Published in 1972, Elric of Melniboné is the first chronologically in the Elric saga. Elric is the flagship series by sword and sorcery master Michael Moorcock. The series centers around the eponymous Elric, who is the 420th Emperor of Melniboné. The sorcerer emperors of Melniboné had ruled the world for 10,000 years, only losing this prestige 500 years ago. Antihero Elric is an albino, a scholar, and while the rightful ruler of Dragon Isle and its inhuman populace, somewhat akin to elves but rather un-Tolkienian in flavor, many Melnibonéans are displeased that Elric sits on the ruby throne in the Dreaming City, thinking him weak. Though he is powerful, he is actually sort of weak as well, since he has been ailed since birth, needing certain potions to keep him alive and strong. Late in the book, Rockir says this to Elric, quote, "You are a man, Elric of Melniboné. There are few men in any world," unquote. I think this illustrates a nice summary of Elric's drive and character. He honestly was nicely human for one generally described in such horribly demonic and inhuman ways. The chief proponent of Elric's opposition in the story is his cousin Prince Iarkun, who is the brother of Elric's bride-to-be, Cymoril. This conflict is tense from the start. Moorcock does an excellent job showing how it is complicated, and since Iarkun's fervent insistence, there is doomed to be trouble. Iarkun is the main protagonist, and his journey of envy and arrogance makes him a good one. Another character, Dyven Var, is Lord of the Dragon Caves, and is Elric's closest friend. And we see a lot of him in this story, even getting some bits from his point of view. Essential to Elric's destiny is the sword Stormbringer, which has certainly influenced swords such as Black Razor from White Plume Mountain, Nightblood from Warbreaker, and Kring from Discworld, and many more. Sort of like Girthing, but obviously sentient. Interestingly, Elric has a dragon helm like Turin, and is mastered by fate similarly. I found this to be a really interesting coincidence, and I will be going more into this topic on the spoiler discussion video later this month. The Melnibonéans are sort of like the elves of Middle-earth, though more wicked. Their empire is largely decadent and its people self-centered. They claim neutrality in a world of good and evil. The time of man has come, and instead of leaving to some paradise, the Melnibonéans face a sad demise of fading, as less children are born of Melnibonéans and their dragons, or by facing destruction. This coincides with the fading of the supernatural beings, who are native to other planes, presence on Earth. In some summary, there is torture, large battles, intrigue, treachery, and fate present in this story. The book is divided into 3 sections called books. The first introduces Elric and quickly puts him in a plight that works as a good prologue to the character as a whole. Second gets the ball rolling, and it gains sorcerer's traction. I felt a sense of doom as things developed, and going into book 3, I was sure the end of the story would bring our antihero to his penultimate form. I know with older books, some people often worry about this, but Moorcock's prose is really easy to follow, and makes for swift reading as we ride along in Elric's head, getting to know him. Personally, I found it easier to read than Fritz Leiber, and most certainly it flows quicker than Tolkien. The occasional inner monologue, where Elric elaborates on his thoughts, I found to be nice for the pace and helped establish his character. This book is very short, so anyone who enjoys modern grimdark may enjoy this classic sword and sorcery. I'd also recommend it to any whom enjoy Dungeons & Dragons, and anyone who wants to read a large influence on the present fantasy genre as a whole. Though there is some Deus Ex Machina at play, which might not sit well with modern fans of the genre. I found the ending to be a mix of the expected and unexpected. I don't think fate will be kind to Melniboné, but that fate has not yet come to pass. There are many things here that influence later works of fantasy. The concept of law and chaos was something combined with Paul Anderson's 3 Hearts, 3 Lions that brought the alignment system Gygax Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. The Dragon Isle of Melniboné, with a pale-haired, weak-blooded ruler, seems an obvious inspiration to Martin's Valyria, and Forgotten Realms' primordial Grumbar is most definitely inspired by Grom, which is also an alias of Grumbars. Elric of Melniboné is followed chronologically by the Fortress of the Pearl, though the DAW publications of the late 70s has The Sailor on the Seas of Fate as number 2 in the series, since the Fortress of the Pearl wasn't released until 1989. After reading this, I definitely do plan on reading more in the series, and as I've mentioned before, I will be having a discussion video go up later in the month where I go more in depth and dive into some spoilers and explore some more of the story. But here we are. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all those who have supported me thus far. It's really awesome, all the support I've gotten, and I appreciate it. It's only been a couple weeks. But join the bookish conversations on excessive detail in the Wizardly Duo Discords, and I'll catch you later with a discussion for Elric of Melniboné.